Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1828, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. The 1992 film Reservoir Dogs was the directorial debut of which filmmaker? Quentin Tarantino. Which artist released the groundbreaking album Jagged Little Pill in 1995? Alanis Morissette. Which country was the third in the world to develop and test nuclear weapons? The United Kingdom. What do you call a publication that includes a calendar, astronomical and navigational data, religious holidays, proverbs, and agricultural forecasts? Almanac. In ancient China, why were sunglasses originally invented? Answer: to conceal judges' eyes and hide their facial expressions during court proceedings. In 1878, Wanamaker's department store in Philadelphia became the first U.S. store to install what? Electric lighting? What do you call an artificial S-shaped sequence of turns added to a motor racing circuit to slow cars? Chicane. Which genus of plants produces edible fruits commonly called peppers that can be green, red, or yellow? Capsicum, peppers. In 1926, why was Mae West sent to a workhouse? She was convicted of obscenity for writing and staging her play Sex. Which Milestone album features the songs Sloop John B. and God Only Knows? Pet Sounds. Which dish was reportedly created as a hangover cure for a Mr. Benedict? Eggs Benedict. Known for its canals and the Rijksmuseum, which city is the capital of the Netherlands? Amsterdam. In what year did the Soviet Union launch the world's first artificial satellite? 1957. Which band recorded the hit song Funky Nassau? The Beginning of the End. Which Robert Palmer song was featured in the 1988 film Cocktail? Addicted to Love. Complete the proverb, self-praise is no. Recommendation. Toxophobia is the fear of what? Poison. Which composer wrote the classical piece Zadok the Priest? George Frideric Handel. What is the scientific Latin name of the great white shark? Answer: Carcharodon carcharias. What is the predominant Christian denomination in Greece? The Greek Orthodox Church. According to a popular anecdote, which type of wine did George Washington reportedly soak his false teeth in to improve their taste? Port. What name, shared by a famous clipper ship and a brand of Scotch whiskey, comes from a Scots phrase meaning short underskirt? Cutty Sark. Despite the name, camel hair brushes are typically made from the tail hairs of which animal? Squirrels. According to Judeo-Christian tradition, what curse placed on Adam affects most people? Having to work for a living. Which Elvis Presley film is set in London, even though Elvis never visited England in real life? Double Trouble. Which high-ranking Nazi official flew solo to Scotland in 1941 in an attempt to negotiate peace with Britain? Rudolf Hess. Which seaport's name means White House in Spanish? Casablanca. By what stage name is the musician Harry Lillis Crosby better known? Bing Crosby. In 218 BC, which two mountain ranges did Hannibal cross with his war elephants on his march from Spain to Italy? The Pyrenees and the Alps. How old can a camel get in captivity if it is well cared for? 50 years. Which punk band released the song Ever Fallen in Love with Someone You Shouldn't Have? The Buzzcocks. What was the name of the sloop commanded by Lieutenant Robert Maynard that captured Blackbeard off Ocracoke Island in 1718? Ranger. Which film opens with the line, "No man's life can be encompassed in one telling"? Gandhi. According to the Bible, how many days and nights did Jonah spend in the belly of the great fish? 3 days and 3 nights. By what nickname is Rome, Italy famously known? The Eternal City. Which British author wrote the semi-autobiographical novel of Human Bondage? Somerset Maugham. What is the psychological disorder characterized by an irresistible compulsion to steal? Kleptomania. What do you call poetry that doesn't rhyme but maintains a regular meter? Blank verse. In Buddhist symbolism, which flower commonly represents compassion and spiritual awakening? The lotus flower. By what stage name is Stevlin Morris Hardaway better known? Stevie Wonder. What is the collective noun for a group of flies? Business. In the Victorian language of flowers, which plant symbolizes slander? Stinging nettle. Which hardwood is commonly used to make high-quality plywood sold as Baltic birch? Birch. Which country became the first to withdraw from the United Nations in 1965? Indonesia. Which nut is also known as a filbert? Hazelnut. In which Australian state is the city of Armidale located? New South Wales. Which beverage was designated Ohio's official state beverage in 1965? Tomato juice. Who played Breathless Mahoney in the 1990 film Dick Tracy? Madonna. Despite its name, how many years did the Hundred Years' War actually last? 116 years. Which former NFL player and actor was originally considered for the role of the Terminator before Arnold Schwarzenegger? O.J. Simpson. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.